In this short video we're going to be showing you how to import a CSV file, brand new product catalogue, into SQL Server using EDT. The files reside in a folder on my C drive called new product catalog.csv, and that's the content of the file, standard sort of stuff, name, product, colour, information, that sort of stuff. So we're going to be importing this into a SQL Server table called product. The product matches the CSV file structure, keep it nice and simple, and that's currently empty. So let's go into EDT, fire off EDT, and let's have a look at how we actually create the task, import the CSV, and then send it through to the database table, and then we'll check the database table afterwards. Okay, so we're in EDT. Here we have the EDT ribbon. Let's log in. Did I click there? Yeah, I did. Default password, which will then change the ribbon bar and allow us to create, modify tasks, etc. So we'll be touching a little bit on global settings in a moment, but let's go ahead and create the EDT task. Okay, so these are the various task methods we've got here. We're just going to call this task something like load product catalog. Give that a quick description, and we're actually going to be selecting data to insert or update from any data source, so fourth one down. Okay, click next, all wizard driven. So our target connection is going to be SQL Server, so just click on new, and we're picking OLEDB provider for SQL Server. Next, name of my SQL Server instance. I'm using Windows Windows authentication. Connect to the database, test the connection, it's okay. Clicked OK, and you'll notice that the little connection status has changed from red to green over here. So we're going to have a look at the target columns. EDT reads all the tables that are in that database. It obviously defaults to the first one, which is address. We're actually looking at the product information, so I'll select the product table, and it reads in all the columns from there. So next, on the data source, I'm going to set up an ODBC directory connection. Just configure that. That's the same directory where all the files reside. So we're going to actually make sure that's there. Good. And then click a new connection. We're going to pick that. Okay. And EDT data files. Yep. Off we go. Okay. What that'll do is that will search the folder and list all the files that are in the folder. As you can see, it's picked up the names and addresses. We're interested in the product one, so just select the product. Okay. The SQL changes underneath it, which is actually how it's going to access the file, and that's really it. We can map columns if we need to change anything around, so we can move things around if needed, but everything's one-to-one, straightforward. So we could go away now and let's run the task. Save it, and run it. What I'll actually do is, need to mention about task notes. So we can switch task notes on or off, or we can say add information to each change that we do within a task. So just put first created, and let's go. Okay, that's connecting to the file, reading the data in, bang, straight into EDT, and this is now ready for validation. So it picks everything out, nice and simple, looks pretty good. And you notice at the top on the ribbon bar we've got a validate and a send button. So we've got lots of product information here all ready to go, but we can validate the information to see whether it'll go into the database. So I just click validate. Various other bits and pieces that we can look at, row counts as to what's failed, what's valid, what's not going to go in. So let's go, validate. Yes. And we get some status information. Yep, no rows that will fail, so we'll click OK. We're happy with that. Everything's ready to go. Nice status information, and let's click send and send it through to the database table. If there were errors, then they would appear on the left hand side, tell us what the error was, or give us an indication of what the error was. So that's 504 rows gone through to the database table, roughly about 6 seconds. So let's go back to SQL Server and check that. So run our select star from product, and there we are, 504 rows, Nice and easy, quick, straightforward. That task can now be saved and shared to all EDT users. In global settings, we can actually define where the tasks can be saved to, and they appear in this drop down here. So when users run EDT, they can pick out the product information or the invoice information and as such.